Make us believe.
Terrible.
Yeah. We need to work on our voices. Three men on a mission. Welcome to the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast. My name's Tony B. Alongside me, as usual, is David B. and Timmy D. in the podcast studio, the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast studio. Today's topics: interview with Matt from No Luck Trucking. You can catch him on YouTube. Just type in the search there, No Luck Trucking, and you will find him. We're just three Americans discussing topics that affect the transportation industry. Our views, the views of us three, are purely news-driven and do not express the views of any transportation provider or any business entity that uses any transportation provider. It's just three guys with 70 years of experience bringing you the transportainment side of the things. That's right, transportainment. Welcome to the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast. You can catch us on our website, shipsgonnahappen.com, YouTube, Rumble, iTunes, Twitter, and all of our shows are on SoundCloud. And now we're on a little bit of Instagram with the millennials. I'm trying to figure that out still. David B., good morning.
Good morning, producer Tony. Good morning, Timmy D. on this cold-ass Saturday morning. Take two of the Ship's Gonna Happen show. It's just a beautiful day. We're good to have Matt on the line. And Brian, I can't believe the sun is the worst part about today. I mean, it's cold and it's snowy, but when that sun hits you coming through downtown Indianapolis and you're looking to the east, that's a big glare that you really don't want to have to happen, because that could blind you and make things worse on you. Today's show brought to you by The Great Divide, 743 East New York Street, downtown Indianapolis. Great place to go for food, beverages, catch a little music. Good place to unwind after a Ship's Gonna Happen week, because it's definitely been that. It's going to be one again next week, too, as we try to catch up from all the shipments that were missed out on this week. Timmy D, so good to see you. You got your Butler gear on today. You must be going to a game, and it's a perfect day to go inside Hinkle Fieldhouse.
Hinkle Fieldhouse, one of the best venues around. If you've never been, you got to get your butt into Indianapolis and see a game there.
Amazing.
Butler's not so good this year, but that's all right. I'm still at a Root the Dog zone. So, yeah, you're right. Snowy, cold, and so excited to have Matt on the line. So I think we get after it. Good to see you, boys.
It's only, I was thinking about this weather. We only got 40 days left of it? 45 days? Just think of that. About 45 days? Yeah. But hey,
way to be wishful.
Matt, good morning. How are you doing, sir?
Morning. We're doing well.
Good to catch you up with you this morning, Matt. You're listening to No Luck Trucking, and our guest today is Matt. We've been kind of following Matt on YouTube. He's got some great videos, got a lot of followers. Matt, can you go into a little bit about how you got into trucking and how you got into the YouTube side of it and all of this, and how kind of you got to where you are today? Because you've definitely got a good thing going on.
Yeah, got a lot of followers.
Yeah, so we started our trucking journey a few years back. We got into a ton of debt and just felt like there was no way out. So we made a plan to get our CDLs, and my wife and I got our CDLs at the same time. We went through Prime Inc. So we had two separate training experiences. We were on different trucks for, I think they made us do 30,000 miles with the trainer, something to that effect.
Yeah.
And then we came out of it and we leased a truck through them and team drove for about 2 years with Prime Inc. And then recently we purchased a truck and we actually now team drive and we're leased on to Landstar. And sometime along the way, a friend of mine kind of convinced us to start a YouTube, and he had a pretty big following in the Prime community. So we started the channel with 0 followers, 0 videos, and after I think day 2, 0 videos still, we had about 100 followers waiting for our first video. And then from there it just kind of grew. It was kind of geared towards Prime and kind of teaching things at first. And then as soon as we left Prime, the followers started jumping on and the views. Like the video that we quit Prime has like 250,000 views now.
I saw that.
So it brought good with bad. There's a lot of people that hate Prime and don't even bother looking at the video. They just come in to drop by and tell you how dumb you are for even going to Prime.
Yeah.
But it did help us. we built up a nice core audience for our videos and people that just love to watch, and it's been good. I think the positives definitely outweigh the negatives.
So how do you think you got all those people to follow you on YouTube? Did you do any co-mingling with other truckers, or you just think it was just you got the videos up there and you kind of had success with it?
Well, we didn't really do a whole lot of collaborations at the time when we started big. So we had about, I want to say 800 followers going up to the video of where we quit. And then from that, because YouTube loves drama and they reward you for drama and like the catchy titles and things like that, I think we went up to somewhere around 3,000 followers kind of overnight, I would say over the span of like 3 or 4 days from that video alone. And then from there, we've just kind of, we've transitioned from teaching to just like, hey, this is what a trucker's life is, over the road trucking, teaming kind of deal. And we just built up an audience from there.
You've done a really good job with that. Tell us now, who, when you bought your own truck, are you aligned with somebody? Or are you just independent and haul for whoever? Or
I didn't hear the last part of that question.
Do you haul for whoever?
Oh, so we're leased onto Landstar. They have their own load board, and brokers can post onto that. Outside brokers can post on it, but they also have direct customers as well. So we do kind of a mix of everything. We do haul a lot of the loads that would be on just your typical open market, spot market boards like DAT and things like that. So those brokers repost them on the Landstar board as well.
So are you driving as a team currently?
What was that?
Are you driving as a team currently?
Yes, we are. Believe it or not, I know the YouTube doesn't reflect it, but Liz does drive as well. She doesn't like to be on camera as much, so I don't really, throw the camera in her face, or I'm trying to sleep while she's driving.
Right. So how did you come up? How did you come up with the name No Luck Trucking? Can you give us a little background on that?
Yeah, that name kind of started when I was in training. I was sitting in Las Vegas waiting to do laundry. I was talking to an old head in the industry, like had been in longer than I've been alive, and I said something to the effect of like, "Wow, we got lucky doing this," and he was like, "Hey, man, there is no luck in trucking. Like you have to earn everything that you make out here," and that just kind of stuck with me.
It resonated because it was true. It stuck with you because it's a factual statement. Is that why?
I firmly believe that. I don't really believe in like luck as in this like magic superpower that's like guiding all your choices and stuff. But I do feel that statement definitely resonates. Like, you're not going to come out here and accidentally become a millionaire. Like, if you make it in this industry, it's because you showed up on time, you made the connections, you hauled the freight safely, and things like that.
You worked your ass off, basically, right?
Let me ask you this: Have you ever had luck where you're like, man, I got lucky, I didn't get in that accident, I didn't do this, I was lucky to get this load to go exactly where I wanted to chase this other load?
I didn't hear the whole question. Sorry, it's kind of breaking up.
Go ahead, Tony B.
Tell me again.
Have you ever had luck out there? Have you ever just lucked into the right load to go to where you want to go? Have you ever been lucky to avoid an accident? Have you ever said, man, I was lucky for that?
Yeah, I still didn't hear the whole
Have
question.
you had any luck getting loads or running into luck, finding its way to you in your job?
Well, I guess it's all in how you look at it. If you consider, I don't know, everyone's beliefs on luck or whatever, but I mean, I guess in the simplest form, if good things coming your way, if that's luck, then yeah, we have tons of that. But now that we named our channel No Luck Trucking, we try stray away from saying anything is luck, because everyone kind of laughs and thinks that that's just making fun of the name more or less. But yeah, I mean, we do. I guess you would say we do have good luck out on the business. It's going pretty well.
Have you had good luck in paying off all your debt and kind of getting to where you wanted to be by getting into this industry?
Yeah, the debt thing, we crushed that pretty soon into getting our own truck at Prime. And we've made it a point to stay debt free.
Nice. What did you do before you got into trucking?
Man, we did a little bit of everything. I think right before we went into trucking, I worked in a warehouse that delivered windshields to installers.
Mm-hmm.
And side hustle, we've always had like side hustles. We did powder coating. I did wiring for like engine swaps, a lot of mechanical stuff. Liz was a mechanic as well prior to us meeting, but she still has quite a bit of mechanical skill as well. So we used to kind of whatever we had to do to make ends meet.
Where is home for you, Matt? And when you're not on the road, where is home?
Well, that's a weird subject as well, because we don't really have a house anymore. We got tired of paying for a house that we were never at, and just
makes sense.
Maintaining a house that we were never at is a very daunting task. So we actually kind of stay with Liz's parents when we are on home time, and that would be out of Stanton, Virginia.
Oh, okay. Wow. So you're driving around in your house right now, right? Then is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, our house is basically wherever the truck ends up.
Yeah. All right. That's good. So do you see yourself staying in this industry then for a while? I know you just got into it to kind of absolve your debt and everything, and something different. I mean, is this a career path for you now?
Well, that's kind of where we're at right now. We're just kind of catching our groove as far as being owner operators and having our truck and not having that like complete safety net from, a mega carrier. But it's not something that we want to do. Like, I don't want to be that old guy that's hobbling into the truck stop, doing this for 30, 40 years. We want to get in and out of the industry, but we don't really have a definitive timeline for it yet.
Would you rather do like a city driver with a LTL company where you're just local and home every night?
A local job really doesn't appeal to me.
You like going out and getting paid and seeing the United States, huh?
Well, we got into this job for the experience of just being out, and like a local job just seems more like a normal, like, clock in, do your work, go home type job.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say is the toughest part of your job, Matt?
The toughest part of the job, I guess just dealing with the general public. You have to save them from themselves quite a bit.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I saw one of your videos where you guys were not expecting to have to unload the truck, but then you and Liz had to unload the truck. That's got to be a surprise and a disappointment when you show up.
Yeah.
Simply, yeah.
Not expecting to do that.
Yeah, this industry is wild. You get surprised on points that you would never expect to be surprised on. You kind of come to expect all of the things that happen, but then we are still humbled and we are still surprised by random things that happen that you would never expect.
Yeah.
Would you encourage young people to get into this industry or other people to get in the industry, even though you're not looking to?
It really depends. I mean, there's a lot of people that I think this is the kind of industry, over the road trucking at least, is you kind of have to be at like financial rock bottom to appreciate what over the road trucking gives you. there's a lot of people that get in just because they're bored of their job, or like this is just another option for them. But I don't feel like they have the same drive as somebody that, like for us, we gambled everything. We sold anything that had value at the house so we could float bills until we started making money.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it gives you a little bit different perspective in the industry and a little bit different work ethic. And that's, 90% of this job is just holding the wheel and delivering on time.
How long? Have you driven all over the United States? And if so, what's your favorite part to drive? What's your least favorite part to be in? Do you have any thoughts on that?
What was the last part of the question?
What are your favorite places in the United States to drive to? What are your least favorite places in the United States to drive to? Do you have those?
Well, I think the least favorite part is probably the longer list, but favorite part to drive, I think, is I-15 going up, like from the southern part, maybe just outside of California, because I don't really like California, but going up to Utah, it's a beautiful drive, and it goes from deserts to like mountainous to looks almost like Colorado, and then of course Utah is beautiful. Then least favorite, probably the Northeast. It is just old infrastructure and tons and tons of people shoved into that area. Traffic's bad. Or maybe Atlanta. Nobody likes Atlanta.
Yeah, a lot of traffic.
Atlanta's a nightmare.
No. Let's see here. So what else? What advice would you give to anybody looking to get in the industry? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Advice for people coming into the industry?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Be prepared to, how do you word it? Be prepared to be disgusted by yourself with some of the things you have to do. Because there's times where you have to, it's like, do you take a shower right now, or do you make another $2,500 in a few hours and shower tomorrow? So there's times where you have to make these choices, and if it's just you in the truck, I guess it doesn't really affect much, but there's times where we both have to make this decision, like, do we want to make this money right now and suffer and then take a shower tomorrow? Or there's a lot of times where you get sat at these places and they don't have bathrooms and stuff. So there's going to be some times where you get out of your comfort zone.
I always like to ask this for over-the-road truckers. What about the food? How's the food on the road? Is it tough to find something good? Do you get tired of the old truck stop food, or do you guys end up finding some place that you can stop that's halfway decent?
Well, so we actually stop at Walmart's quite a bit, and we stock the truck. We have 2 extra fridges on the truck, so we cook. I would say probably 95% of our meals we cook on the truck.
Nice.
With like a microwave or like a stove top, like a propane stove?
Oh no! So we have it's a Galan's brand. They sell them at Walmart. It's a oven, air fryer, and microwave all in one.
Oh wow!
So we have the benefits of an oven, and then we also have an Instapot. So between those 2 items, we can cook steaks, we can cook, we can even toast bread if we wanted to.
Is it Chef Matt or Chef Liz or Chef both of you?
What was that?
Is it Chef Matt, Chef Liz, or Chef both of you? Do you both cook, or is there one of the 2 of you better?
Well, so it's mostly Chef Liz.
Okay.
Chef Matt gets really frustrated because it's a small area. And I'm a tall guy and a big guy, so I don't do well in the tight areas, but I can whip up a mean sandwich.
There we go. Yeah, nice.
If it goes in the microwave, I can hit the buttons with the best of them.
There you go. Listen to No Luck Trucker on the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast show.
Matt, where you off head? Where you guys headed to this morning? Tell us where you're at, and then where your end location, where you going to end up.
I didn't catch that.
Where are you at today, and where are you going to end up at today?
Yeah. So currently, we stopped at Oak Grove 70, the big truck stop in Missouri, Petro.
Okay.
And after this interview, we are going to start rolling towards Salt Lake. We've been shut down for the last 2.5 days.
Yeah, that's about right.
Trying to wait out the blizzard.
Yeah, we've all been shut down here too. We're from Indianapolis, so we've been shut down too. What? A couple more questions here. What's your idea of a good run versus a bad run?
Well, good run is one that we can go to point A, pick up the load, go to point B, and deliver the load. That doesn't always happen. So a bad load is one that has problems, like you have the wrong pickup number, the broker stops responding to your questions, the police wants to sit you for a while before they load you, things like that. And those are the frustrating parts of trucking.
Can you avoid those? Do you know how to pick out the good ones versus the bad one, or you've been doing it for a while now?
Absolutely. So when you look at the load board, and the highest revenue loads usually pop up on the top. So I made a video about this a while back. You have to look for the catch. So we have a line of questioning that we ask the brokers, mainly like, who is the receiver? Because if they tell me Target, you know that you drop your trailer, they take between 8 and 16 hours.
I've seen some of his videos about Target.
Good night. Right.
So that has to pay really well for us. But yeah, you just kind of get into the questioning game. Most of your interaction with the broker is trying to figure out what the catch is.
Yeah.
Nice. You're listening to Matt with No Luck Trucking. Matt, we greatly appreciate your time this morning. Yeah. And if you would, or if you could, or if you don't mind, on one of your future videos, could you give a shout out to the Ship's Gonna Happen show? Would you mind doing that, please?
I only heard bits and pieces of that, unfortunately.
Well, when you're on your journeys, can you give us a shout out on the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast when you're on one of your shows in the future?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Yeah, when the episode gets put out, I can share it on all of my stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice. Well, I'll send you. I got your number here. I'll send you the link for it and all that. We appreciate you joining this morning, and hopefully you have
safe travels, young man.
Safe travels to the your final destination today, and tell Liz we said hi, and we'll keep watching you on your YouTube channel, No Luck Trucking, man. Thanks for joining us today, Matt.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Take care, Matt. Thank you.
Be safe.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Bye.
Man, he's got a journey ahead of him, don't he?
He does. Great interview with Matt from No Luck Trucking, and Liz. I wonder who's got the sniff. What I wanted to ask is who gets in charge of the sniff. You know, like it's about time for you to take a shower. No, we're going to make $25 or more $100.
Where's that hustle versus the cleanliness?
That's right. That's right.
I ain't mad at you, though. If you're out there, you gotta go make your hustle, right?
Yeah, $2,500 over a shower.
We're gonna roll the windows down.
I think the debt got him on the road, right?
Right.
He's gonna be stinky.
That's a great story. To me, that's a really good story to hear. You know, we're gonna take a stab at this and see how it goes. And like he said, we crushed that debt as soon as we bought our own truck. Well done.
And if you think about it, there's a lot of money in trucking. We talk about it. There's so much money in trucking today more than ever. And you can see that some of these runs cost, like he said, I'm going to pick and choose what's the right run for me because I don't want any hiccups. Mm-hmm. When you get into those big players like a Target or a Walmart, you watch some of his videos, he's got to drop his trailer, got to go down the street, wait for them to call so it's empty. Yep. You don't know. I watched one where the straps, he wanted to make sure he got the straps out because he don't know if he's going to get those back. That's money out of his pocket.
That's exactly right. Matt, if you're still listening, we hope to have you back sometime soon. So great interview this morning. Yep. Matt and Liz, thank you, and be safe while you're out there.
Excellent. David B., you want to get into topic numbers? You got some topics there.
You got topics or random thoughts?
Here we go. Not random thoughts
Here we
yet.
Go. Hang on. Getting into it with David B. with some topics.
So just kind of going over some headline stuff this week. Some of the stuff we also missed from last week. One of the things that I wanted to discuss is the Pittsburgh bridge collapse. I don't know if the two of you are kind of keeping up on that.
I saw that.
So I think in my opinion, what this is a perfect example of is infrastructure that's 50 years old that wasn't built to handle the way we move today. And how, back in the 1950s, there was 150 million people. Now there's 330 million people in the United States. So our infrastructure really wasn't built to handle kind of what we've got going on today. And again, first off, thank God nobody was hurt or died or anything. So, I mean, there were some injuries, but thank God nobody died at that Pittsburgh bridge collapse. So, let's hope that this kind of makes infrastructure bill kind of get through there and get things taken care of.
It's a good topic, man, because actually all the last administrations I can remember have talked about infrastructure, right? So we've been talking, we haven't seen any action.
Bill Clinton.
Yeah, and haven't been doing anything really with it. So
can I break news real quick?
Yeah, break it.
Gal across the street's out.
Yeah, I hope she doesn't listen. Hope she doesn't listen to the show.
Grandma's out in her 90.
Nice.
It's 7 degrees outside.
So, but
speaking of infrastructure,
it's a thing that needs to happen in America. I think some of these roads are, some of them are. I think the states get into not wanting to be trapped with the federal government on hey, all of a sudden they own the road versus you, and some of that.
Well, some of that
ties into that.
If you build the bridge so big, the federal government has to put in so much money, right? So they're doing a big infrastructure downtown Indianapolis right now. It's shut down for 18 months. And if you look at some of the size of some of these bridges going in, the reason they're going in so big is to get federal money for them. And I don't know the ins and outs of it, but if the bridge is so long and so wide and so tall, whatever that formula is, however the federal government has to put in money. There's no option around it. So I think a lot of these states are going, if you ever been to Dallas, they do everything bigger in Dallas, right? That's what they say. Everything bigger in Texas. Dallas and Houston, the bridges are the size of Cleveland. I'm telling you, they are absolutely ginormous.
Yeah, if you're going to build it for not only now, but for the future or whatever.
Well, it's like the 465-65 interchange. That was done really well. Even though you get off to the right and you're going left, and you get off left and you're going right, but that was a big construction job they did, and
it on the south side.
Yeah, and it helped alleviate, I think, a lot of traffic.
Yeah, I just so that bridge, that was crazy to see. I thought I heard 13 dead, but maybe it was 13 injured. Is that what it was?
No deaths. Okay. Yeah, I did my little research before I came over this morning. I did my homework the morning of.
Yeah, I think the president showed up there, right? And
that was a planned visit.
But it happened.
It happened right before we got there. There you go.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Yeah. But you're right, though. We need to do that because there's a lot of I haven't looked at the infrastructure. They have a site where you can follow it. And the last time I checked, it really hadn't gotten anything. I think they're still trying to rectify some stuff inside the bill.
How many years ago on that Minneapolis bridge?
Oh, gosh. What was that? 15 years ago,
probably.
Maybe?
Yeah, I'm not sure. But,
that was horrible.
The only bridge I remember collapsing was when I was a little kid, was the one on the way to World Series out there. Was it San Francisco or something?
Oh, yeah.
Oakland.
Oakland, is that what it was? That collapsed with everyone waiting in line to get to the World Series?
Because of the earthquake, right? Wasn't the earthquake the
right.
cause of it?
Yeah, that sounds right. That was early 90s.
Yeah. So like when I read this morning, reading about the Pittsburgh Bridge again, like the article that I read, I got good English. It said in the story, the cause of the bridge collapse was snow and a bus that went over. I'm like, no. Don't mislead anybody on this is why the bridge collapsed. This is a bridge that was built 50 years ago and can't handle the everyday traffic that you have. You can't snow and a bus. I'm like, whatever.
Well, and that's why haven't we tapped into the truck drivers to ask about where should we start?
Perfect. Yeah.
What is, let's take a poll.
Wow.
I don't care if you put it at the Pilot, if you put it at the any truck stop out there, or however you go about, ask the 5 big companies where their drivers drive every day.
Right.
Yep.
Let's take a poll. I'm sure every trucking company would love to get involved on that poll.
They would know
because their maintenance, right? The maintenance on their trucks of hitting potholes and bad places, or trying to avoid and taxing extra miles. Why not poll them, and then let's start there.
Yeah,
right. That's the only way to eat this elephant, is piece by piece. So let's tap into the truckers' knowledge and know, hey, this this has come up on every person that has drove this area says this is the one spot that is a pain in the butt.
Here's
let's start small and go big.
It's a good point, Tim. Here's the top 10 in America that have collapsed since 1972. You got the Sydney Linear Bridge that 10 people died.
Where is that?
That's in Georgia, Brunswick, Georgia. A freighter had collided into it. Then you have the I-35 West Bridge in East Chicago. I didn't even know that. 1982 collapsed. I forgot about that. I know that when you drove over it, it swayed a lot, but I think they're built for that. Then you have St. Petersburg, Florida. The bridge collapsed there. The Sunshine Skyway Bridge, Oakland, California.
When was the Skyway?
1980.
Okay.
Then the Silver Bridge killed 46 people.
Wow. West Virginia.
Yep, West Virginia. Then you have the Hyatt Regency Walkway in Kansas City, which was, let's see when that was, in 1981. So there's been a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, there has, definitely. And
we've done nothing to rectify the situation.
Absolutely.
No, we need that money being built here, helping Americans.
So going back to what Tim was talking about, every Saturday morning, one of the things I like about coming over here is I drive through that downtown Indy area on where the bridge stuff, and I always try to get a good look at the stuff. And just, we've had some pretty cold weather this past few weeks or whatever. We've had some snow this week. The pothole situation is absolutely ridiculous, especially over all the way to the left. It's just one big pothole after pothole after pothole. And that's what this time of year brings, is that stuff, just to damage more trucks and just to damage more vehicles and stuff.
The cost of doing business continues to go.
And of course, and those roads aren't built to way back then to withstand all that.
We could sit here and talk about inflation and how rates are up and on the increase, but if you think about exactly what you said, the cost to keep up the older fleets because of the lack of infrastructure that's been there. And the price to do business has just gone up simply because we haven't invested in our roads and our bridges.
Right.
And then we could talk about this week off for
forever,
for weeks.
You got another one, David?
I do have one more, or at least one more.
David B, hit us.
Actually, I have a couple more, and both of these two topics kind of feed into one another, and it's very difficult not to talk about this stuff. And the one main thing on this show that we don't ever want to do is turn anything into political.
Yeah, we don't talk politics.
When I give this today, I really am not trying to turn this political at all.
Yeah, you are. You're trying to get some drama for YouTube. YouTube wants drama.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube wants drama.
Well, wait a minute. I guess going back to Matt with No Luck Trucking, I guess if we want to make some headlines, this would be the way to do it. But over the week, I kind of been watching, and especially this morning, since I did my homework the morning of and not the night before, Canadian Trucker Freedom Convoy is still looking to end the mandates and stuff, and they're expecting today to be a big day for that. It's gone on for what now? This is days,
weeks, maybe
8 or 9 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so when I was researching this morning, this is something I really wanted to talk about. It was very difficult to find a video that didn't go all the way left or a video that didn't go all the way right, which just kind of infuriated me. I'm like, somebody tell me what the progress is of the convoy. I don't want to know that Antifa. I don't want to know whatever the hell else somebody's blaming it on. Just give me a story about where we're at with this convoy.
I've been following a guy on YouTube, and he's been documenting, and he's not political. And so,
yeah, right.
What he was trying to do is he's for everybody expressing their freedoms, right? So part of it was the people in movements past have not been obstructed from protesting. And for some reason, there's been a little obstruction trying to block these truckers from protesting. But I guess they made it to the capital of Ottawa. Yeah, and they've kind of shut down the whole thing. I think the Prime Minister came out and said some things,
ill-advised things.
Yeah, said some things that probably weren't popular because he didn't say those things in past protest. So the last thing I saw, which was last night, he was asked if he was going to bring in the military, and he said, no, not yet. He wasn't going to do that. So hopefully they don't do that. But it's people want their freedoms, and whether it's on the left or right, we're always going to have to deal with that. So
I'm going to spin this off one other thing. See how much homework you guys did. Did you know, coming soon to a theater near you in the United States of America, the same thing is going to happen March 1st.
Oh. Yeah, I've heard about that.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Starting in California, going to D.C.
California.
Yeah.
So the world record, I think, was like 45.3 miles because it's all kilometers or whatever, 45.3. This one was at 43.7, I heard 2 days ago. But now they're starting one for America. The truckers, here's your owner-operators, right? This isn't going to be, I had a lot of questions from some of my friends.
Yeah.
They're like, well, what's that going to do to your company? This or that? Like, my company's not going to be involved in that, right? We're one of the bigger. This has got to be owner-operators, right? So you think about the Ottawa people. They got that GoFundMe. They shut down the GoFundMe.
I was going to say
they raised like
which was kind of crazy.
$3.2 million. It
was up to $9 million.
Okay, and that was for food, lodging, diesel.
Gas.
You name it, and it was all. And now, who gets that GoFund and how do they hand it out? I don't know. But this one in America is going to start March 1st, and it's going from California to Washington D.C. And if you think about it, 90% of the truckers in Canada are vaccinated.
Right.
And
Already, yeah.
So there's only 10% that are not vaccinated that are in this ginormous thing. So think about how many truck drivers it is. And the one in starting in California isn't about being vaccinated, from my understanding. It's just about
It's the mandates.
it's in just everything in the government regulations. It's everything that truckers aren't appreciated. Basically, is what it's going to be. So, in case you're wondering, if there's that many truckers in Canada making that move, imagine what America's going to do and what that's going to do to the entire industry.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
That doesn't matter, LTL or truckload, what that's going to do, because these truck drivers, if they've got enough money, they're just going to roll all the way to Washington, D.C. They don't give a daggone who gets in their way. They don't care about what money they're walking over. So it could be ugly start March 1st.
Yeah.
It could be real ugly in the industry.
I can already see we're going to be
prices.
censored on YouTube. but
Uglier than what it already is.
Yeah, I could see we're already going to. Good luck watching our show on YouTube because
Well,
they
that's
censor the
Given
stuff.
the way
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's just, and not to steer away from what's the Canadians are doing, whatever, right? So you can't cross the border unless you're vaccinated, and so I think that's their big stand, is that they've shut down a lot of revenue, because there's a lot of money to be made when with the trading between America and Canada and what goes across the border. People don't realize there's 5 big ports. That's about it. It's not like Mexico to United States. There's only a couple little leadways into, because
there's like 5 or 6 gateways.
Canada is very. You can basically pick out the top 4 places that 95% of their people live.
Yeah,
right?
they all live within 50 miles of the border.
Yeah,
the US
so
border.
it's going to be interesting come March 1st. Just hold on. You guys think it's got crazy now? March 1st could be a whole different element.
Finding a truckload.
Yeah, well, it already is kind of. Yeah, it's going to be difficult.
It's a good topic though, man, because
So to tie into this a little bit, my third thing, and again, I don't want to turn this into whatever, but this is all happening based on less than 1% of the population dying.
Right.
And I'm unfortunate that people have passed, and I'm not trying to say that shouldn't have been some measures taken, but all of this for less than 1% of the population. Think about I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just
could have been handled better.
And you think about the truck driver industry. Think about the reason these people are over the road, like our interview last week and then this week, like they want to travel America and be free. They don't want anyone to be. They run independent. They don't need anybody else.
And they don't come into contact with a lot of people, right? So it's not like they're mass spreaders of something.
Well, I just think about how they don't want to be told what to do. That's why they
got the job.
Owner operators, because they want to just go and cruise, man.
Yeah.
So trying to, I don't know. Unless let's not get political. Let's just keep on rolling. Because
it's easy to go there.
The truckers to take a stand. That's one of the we talked about it. You talked about your frontline workers with your nurses and things during this whole thing, and how they've now become a new appreciation. Where's the appreciation for the truckers? I still don't think that the job itself is not appreciated enough, and that's why a lot of people. It's not a glorified job, right? Being a doctor or nurse sounds prestige and all this. A truck driver, without the truck driver, you're not going to have the medicines. You're not going to have any of the gowns. You're not having any of the masks. The truck driver is where it all starts. It all starts with that truck driver, and nobody appreciates them.
I agree.
Well, we appreciate all the
That's
truck
right.
drivers out
Absolutely.
here on the Ship's Gonna Happen show. So
Yeah, everything we've got in our houses came on a truck, right?
And
So
without
yeah.
them, I couldn't feed my family, right? I mean, this
Yeah.
whole industry, it's too big to be overlooked, and I think a lot of the media. I think a lot of eyes got put on the industry from the ports being all backed
Right.
up, and I think now it's starting
they're
to
not
hit as
backed
well.
up anymore, are they? Because
No,
we don't
no.
hear a word about the ports.
No,
being-
but the shelves are still empty and things. So
that's-
the truck drivers, I'm saying the appreciation is starting to gain some traction.
yeah, no, I get it. But my point is we don't hear a thing about the ports being backed up anymore because they must not be.
yeah,
they are.
They are.
Yeah,
still
they're
backed
not.
up.
They're not as bad as they were.
No,
Oh, right.
Not as bad, but they still are.
Yep.
Still more than like what the gentleman from that we interviewed a while back from the California area told us that it's been an issue since 2012, right?
Yeah.
Because of the infrastructure there can't handle
Jared, that was the Jared
yep.
interview.
The infrastructure was never built to accommodate all the overseas port containers. So, and that's a great topic. I mean, I'm all for anybody expressing their freedoms,
Yep.
I think sometimes it gets turned political when it wasn't meant to be, for each side to gather or harness whatever they're trying to do.
It's crazy though how many daggone truckers got together.
It is, yeah.
Farmers,
Nice
did you see the farmers?
Yeah.
The farmers with their farm equipment?
And tow truck drivers too, and all that.
Yeah,
Yep.
and because I think some of the mayors ordered the tow truck drivers to come in
they
and
weren't good.
nah, we ain't gonna do that. We're joining now.
That's
So
just it's good to see people unite.
Yes.
it says day 8, David.
Okay.
Yeah. So
All right.
and they got a countdown here, and it's live on YouTube where you can follow it.
Right.
But man, good topic. You got another one?
So we can probably go to random thoughts, I
We're gonna
think.
go to random thoughts. David, random thoughts.
I thought I had different random thought music. Do I not have? Anyway.
I tie it in post editing. I can't do it right.
I call bullshit on that one.
Yeah.
So anyway, Super Bowl Sunday coming up. The two of you, I've got two on this. So who you guys rooting for, or are you?
Yeah, I'll go first. You know what? It made my season seeing the I'm not a Bengals fan, but it made my season seeing the Bengals win. I can't believe how cool, calm, and collective this quarterback they got, Joe Burrow, acts like he's been in the league. I hated him because I'm a Buckeye fan, right? And he
left.
LSU destroyed and he left, and now I understand the story on why he did. But man, he is one cool cat. He's calm, collective, and a great leader. And I've enjoyed watching. So I'm rooting for the Bengals.
In all of the years I've known you, I don't think I've ever heard you say you were a Buckeye fan. Did I miss something?
Well, I'm a Northwestern fan because I
Right.
grew up near Northwestern. Went to a lot of Northwestern football and basketball games. And
But then he liked the winner.
yeah, exactly. They never really won, but I had some would wear some Northwestern gear as a kid.
But I'm a Northwestern fan also, and they have been to the Rose Bowl a lot more often than the Hoosiers have in the last
which is surprising
30 years.
But yeah, so
Why we got to go there? We're on
No,
Tony and the
no,
Buckeyes.
it's
What we gotta go there for?
My bad.
when I grew up, the family migrated for jobs, right? So we lived in Dayton. So the first football game I ever went to was a Buckeye game.
Oh, you been to the shoe?
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
that was like one of the best experiences of my life as a little kid. And then obviously I grew up in Chicagoland area, so I was a Bears fan and grew up near Northwestern, was probably 25 minutes away.
Yeah.
So my dad would go take me to all the games, and
Top the train.
you'd only get to see Ohio State because they would come every other year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then, I watched Northwestern get beat 66-0 one year by Northwestern or by Ohio State, and then one year I'm pretty sure they could have scored 100, but it was at halftime it was 45-0, and then Ohio State put in guys like me, right?
They went to the local high school.
I think they scored
Yes.
10 points.
Right.
And so, but it was a great experience going there and watching those games. But yeah, that's why.
Put in Al Bundy, who scored 4 touchdowns in one high school.
There we
football
go,
game.
yeah.
Yeah. So Timmy D, are you rooting for
So
anybody,
I
or-
want to root for the Bengals, but I'm going to tell you, boys, I've been to 3 Bengals games over there with the Colts. And no offense to you Bengals fans out there, but you guys are the rudest fans in the NFL. I've been to probably 14 to 15 away stadiums, and some of the roughest ones that you would think are rough. Bengals fans are just jerks.
Wow.
Just jerks. So
the news and opinions of Timmy D are solely expressed by Timmy D.
Do not express those thoughts of the Ship's Gonna Happen show.
I want to root for him because I do like Burrow. I like Chase. Like I like everything.
Great tandem.
It's a great story. They were 2 or 3 and 14 just a couple years ago. I think it's fantastic. And Burrow, gets hurt last year, comes back. I want to root for him, but I can't. Honestly, I'd like to see Matthew Stafford win a Super Bowl. He deserves that. The patience he had in Detroit for so many daggone years. And
who do you think the pressure's on more, him or Burrow?
It's got to be on him, 100%. Yeah. I mean, Burrow's still young. He's going to be one of those, this is the first Super Bowl in, 12 years we haven't had a Brady or Rodgers or Manning in, I think, or something crazy.
Wow.
So I think there's a new era, right? You got Josh Allen from the Bills.
He's great.
Burrow,
I love Josh Allen.
Because Ben Roethlisberger's gone, right? You got Burrow.
Big Ben.
You got Patrick Mahomes is around. And I think Kyler Murray down there in Arizona is going to do something special. So you may have some new quarterbacks. I want to root for him, but I can't. I want to see Stafford win it. He deserves it, in my opinion. He has been patient, never outspoken at Detroit. Very humble guy, just continues to do his job. Although I would like it to blow up in their face if they traded a number 1 overall pick and a number 1 draft pick to get him to win the Super Bowl, and then they don't do it, right? Because Goff took him to a Super Bowl. If you guys remember that back in 17 or whatever it was.
Yep.
So
they lost, right? They lost.
Yeah, they got beat. They got beat by was it Tom Brady?
It might have been the Patriots, probably.
Anyway, so I can't root for the Bengals just because their fans are jerks. And I'm a nice guy on the road, right? I just like to get into the tradition. But Houday can go ahead and go, never mind.
So do you think it's more of a Bengals or Bengals Colts thing that you don't like them, or is it just what you said there?
Just them being jerks in the stands. So the other interesting thing I saw on this was, so the Bengals got to pick their jerseys.
Yeah.
And 14 of the last 17 Super Bowl winners have been in white, and they chose to go with their black uniforms versus white.
But what does that mean on the victory side of that?
No, the white jerseys have won 14 of the last 17 Super Bowls. It's kind of like a jinx thing, I guess, that they're talking about, and they chose the opposite.
Wow.
So they're really defying the odds if they win this.
David, what about you, man?
I'm not really sure I don't know that I have anybody just yet. I'm not. It would be nice. I could make a case for either one, and I don't know that I have anybody in particular that I'm rooting for. So if there's a good game day Super Bowl food that you're going to put out for your spread or whatever, what's your go-to Super Bowl game day food? Do you have anything? Might be different than normal?
I think chili, nacho cheese. Mm-hmm. I always like the little sausages,
Vienna sausages.
Yeah, I like to cut up the little smoked sausage with a little barbecue sauce in it. Meatballs, we do it all. We do every classic that you see out there.
Sounds good. Tony B.
Oh, the wife makes a nice bean cheese dip. That's incredible. That doesn't last long.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Well, come get me one chip.
Yeah, there you go.
Next Sunday I'll be over to get me one chip.
It's really good. What about you?
Well, I'm glad Tim sure the fuck didn't mention guacamole. So
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, so was I.
The
I thought
king
the
of
guacamole would be. I make a good wing, so some good wings and stuff. It's probably about the extent of might do a little different dip. I saw it was like a sloppy Joe kind of dip thing that I might try out this year too. Sloppy Joe. But so it's kind of about it, really.
Speaking of guacamole, I dropped some off to a client of mine, and hey, I'm sorry I forgot. I haven't emailed you to say thank you for the guacamole. It was so good. We all loved it. Mark said you should put a patent on it. That's all I'm telling you.
I heard you're calling the little one little guac. Hey guac, you're trying to carry on the tradition already and calling it, hey little guac, come here.
I guess I put myself in this corner today, so I guess I should just take
it. It's never going to end until Tim leaves the studio. Yeah, if you're out there and you make a guac, you stand no chance against Timmy D's guac.
Come on with it.
Yeah. Right. But it's a good time. Every time we do that, it's a really good time.
So do you host a party or what?
No, that's so. I mean, you guys know me fairly well that's bedtime for me. So it's a
early,
Sunday.
man.
Why is that game on a freaking Sunday?
It should be a holiday.
I know there's reasons behind it.
They started at 6:30 now, though. It used to be like 8:30.
I mean,
Right.
it's still a wreck the next day.
So what? Thursday night at 7:30. I'm sound asleep, and the CFO of the company calls me to find out where an inbound shipment is, and I'm like, I pick up the phone. I'm like, yeah,
Ship's gonna happen.
And he's like, I must have woke you. I go, if I'm at work at midnight, I gotta sleep sometime.
Exactly.
Anyway, I just wish they put that game on a Saturday. I just don't understand why.
I agree.
That's not on a Saturday.
Like a Saturday night.
But yeah, like even like
recover.
the NCAA men's basketball.
It's on a Monday.
It's on Monday.
It's crazy.
So here's the deal. Truckers would argue with you. They don't sleep on the weekends. They work all weekend. Why can't it be on a Wednesday? That's what the truckers would tell you.
Yeah.
Matt would be
get it.
watching it in the cab.
Yeah, Matt and Liz are probably like, we're going to watch it whenever. So, which makes sense. I don't know. I just always wonder why
I'm
those
with
things
you.
aren't
I agree.
on Saturday.
You got another one?
I think while Tim was talking, I did, but I kind of forgot since I steered it off in the stupid guacamole.
I got him every time.
Which we do, by the way, need to get getting on for this year. I know it's only early February, but we do need to start kind of maybe.
It's tough to think about guacamole when there's 3 feet of snow on the ground outside.
Is she still out there?
But I don't want to wait till she was just literally went back inside. I don't want to wait till June 1st for an event that we'll do on June 10th or something.
Yeah,
but we'll get it. We'll get it figured out. So anyway, no, I don't think I have anything else. I just am ready for this to go away.
No luck trucker on today.
Great interview.
He's got some good videos out there that shows you the frustrations of the customers or the consignees that he deals with. And no offense to the Targets and Walmarts, there's a reason they have policies and procedures in place. But it's just frustrating for a trucker to get in, get the load offloaded so he can get to his next one. As David B would say, get to getting and go make more money. It's just you got to sit there and wait. You're just in a holding pattern until you get your trailer back. So good stuff that he's got out there, and good to see you boys on a Saturday morning for sure.
Matt and Liz, we hope you come back on the show sometime soon. Great interview today. Good to see the both of you. Go Bulldogs and
Go Bulldogs.
Stay warm today.
Yep. You guys have a good one. Ship's Gonna Happen out.
So that's probably